What's up guys, this is John with Carrick Customs, and today I'm going to show you installing our new Fox shocks, right there, in our brown single cab 97 F350 that has our coilover kit on it. We there's King shocks in it right now because we were initially going to go with King, but their lead time ended up being a year. Fox said they could do it in 15 weeks. Lo and behold, they couldn't, but we ended up going with Fox. So these are custom tuned and valve shocks. All the tuning and valving was done by Don Thuren at Thuren Fabrication. Custom springs specifically for our coilover kit and these trucks. And we're super excited to test them out, make sure everything fits nicely, and then send them out to our customers. So we'll take a look at all this stuff and we'll get them installed on the truck. It's gonna be a good time.
All right, so here we have our Fox 2.5-inch coilovers. These are the Performance Series coilover with the DSC adjusters. This is a dual speed compression adjuster. So you have the orange knob here, which is your low speed, so low shock travel speed, not low vehicle speed, and then your high speed adjuster. So this is gonna be for like going slow or on the highway where you've got big rolling bumps, you'll adjust your low speed. If you're going fast and you wanna off-road and you want more response and less sway in the vehicle, then you'll adjust your high speed. It's a pretty sweet design that Fox has done, and they have a lot of great info on fine-tuning this system, but I'm really excited about it because while these are custom valved, you can even fine-tune it more to your own personal driving experience. Then here we have our 3 3/4 inch inner diameter spring that's custom made specifically for our coilover kit. And then Thuren Fabrication, Don Thuren built these custom adapters to run a 3 3/4 inch inner diameter spring on Fox's 2.5-inch shock. So when you get it, it'll come with the shock and the spring retainers in one box and the springs in another box, and you'll need to assemble it. So the first thing to do is, using a pick tool, remove the lower C-clamp or slide the lower spring retainer off. These adjusters here are if you were doing a dual rate 2-spring setup. In order to remove them, you have to disassemble the whole shock, so they're just going to be on there, but they're not going to be used. So the first thing we'll do is slide this upper spring retainer to the top, and they're a tight fit, but it slides right onto your adjuster. Then we'll take our coil spring here, and we'll slide it over the shock. Then we'll take our lower spring retainer with the adapter to run the 3 3/4 inch inner diameter spring, and we will slide that up on here. So we'll install our lower spring retainer with the adapter for the larger diameter spring. We'll get our shock slid down into position. Then we just have to install this little C-clip, and we're off to the races. It might be easiest to set the shock upside down and pop that guy on. Flip your shock back over, turn your adjuster down, your height adjuster, our spring adjuster. And you're set up, ready to install it in the truck. So, like I said, all of this is custom tuned, valved. The spring rate is, these springs were custom built for our kit, and I'm excited to swap out these shocks and see how it rides. One note is, once you get it in the truck and you put weight on it, you're gonna have to adjust your upper spring retainer, you know, thread it up or down to get your desired ride height. When doing that, you'll want to make sure that the weight is off of the vehicle or off the shock with it in the vehicle, and then adjust it probably down so that you get a little more height out of it. Once you have it all set, take an Allen wrench and tighten down the set screw on this, and you're good to go. Then it's just time to start testing and tuning your external DSC adjusters. Alright guys, so what we've done so far is put the front axle on jack stands. The truck is technically on the lift, and then took the wheels and tires off and loosened the bolt holding the limit strap, which keeps the suspension from being able to droop all the way out and put all that load on the shock. It puts it on this strap. It's like a heavy duty seat belt essentially. So in order to remove these shocks, we need the axle to be sitting on the jack stands. The lower bolt for the shock is loose. Going to take the limit strap off, and then I'm going to have a helper raise the lift and raise the vehicle until this lower shock bolt gets loose so I can slide it out. Otherwise, if you don't have another set of hands, you're going to be like raising it, and you know, you'll see the axle come off the jack stands a little bit, you'll lower it down, and it's just going to be a pain to get that bolt off. So another set of hands is super helpful, but it is doable by yourself. So we'll get this limit strap off, and then we'll raise the truck up and get the weight off the coilover on the bottom side so we can pull the bolt out and get it out of the axle. All right, now we got both lower bolts out, and I'm going to have my helper raise it up to the point where the shock will come out of our brackets that are on the axle here, and then we'll take the tops out. All right, so now we got the lower side of the shock out. The next thing to do is get the reservoir off the reservoir mount. So there's two hose clamps that hold the reservoir onto the mount, and then there's two bolts that hold the reservoir to the shock tower. All right, the top part is in. Then I'm going to grab my helper and lower the truck down to get the bottom side in. So we'll go from there. Truck has our coilover kit in the front, leveling, it's about 3 inches, and then in the back it's got Skies Off-Roads 08 through 16 rear spring hanger kit with the 08 through 16 Super Duty rear leaf springs, and that makes a huge difference as well. We haven't put any matching shocks on the back yet. It's got some cheap KYBs, but even with those, it makes a really, really big difference. I'm super happy with how this truck is turning out, how it rides, how it runs, and drives, handles. It's like driving a new truck. So super excited about that. We're going to be doing a lot more videos and going to do a full overview of this truck, just all the different things that we've done, that it got rescued from basically a ranch out in Eastern Oregon and has really turned into quite the nice truck. So like, subscribe, and check out our upcoming videos along with the suspension video, the promo video for our coilover kit. You won't be disappointed. Once again, this is John with Carrick Customs, and thanks for checking it out. Cheers.